So, meron pa ba tayong inintay? We're how many na sa group? 13 lang sa group. 12 lang. Hindi na kasama. We're around 22 ata dito. 21. So, ilan na lang yung hinihintay natin. We're 21. 9 na lang yung hinihintay natin. So, maybe we can start already, no? While waiting for the others. Okay lang mo ba? Inform na lang po. Okay, so good evening. So loud and clear ba yung boses ko? If you want to turn on your cameras, mas maganda po, no? Or maybe use your mics later. Welcome po kayo. Okay? So, dinig ko ba?
Dinig po, sir.
Dinig naman. Okay, sige. Thank you. How do you pronounce your name? Joni Garcia? Thank you. So, ayan. Ang dami kong good evening ata sa inyo, no? So, my name is Arnaldo Gutierrez. So, I'll be your instructor for this subject, the Logicswitch. I'm looking at the schedule. So, this one is ECE 302. The class code is 4875. So, I'll be also your instructor pala for the lab. Okay. Sa Thursday. Okay. So, will be also meeting sa Thursday. So let's do the orientation for today. Then let's proceed. Introduction lang sa topic natin, no? Kasi last week I wasn't able to meet you guys. So hopefully makakabawi ako ngayon. Okay. So sanay na po kayo sa orientation. How many SEMs na are you doing the orientation from your first year up to this third year, no? So ilang SEMs na po yan, no? So we'll be applying the 60-40 for this class, the grading system. The 60% will be taken dun sa mga quizzes nyo. The 40% will be taken dun sa mga scheduled exams natin. Prelims, midterms, and finals. So the passing is 50. So hopefully you get the 50%, more than hopefully. Okay. The number of absences, the same pa rin po. Ilan ba yung number of absences natin? Nakalimutan ko na sa ano. So we have 7 for the lecture. So after the 7 for the lecture, okay. FA na po yung grades na, no? Afterwards. So okay. So it's okay yung iba, walang net daw for the meantime. It's okay. So on my end then, I think I have a intermittent connection then a while ago, no? So kung nawawala po ako, that's my connection po, hindi sa inyo. Okay? Okay. So you just feedback yung mga kaklase niyo po that are not able to join us for this day. Okay? Okay, sige. So, yun po. The number of absences po natin is 7. But let's ano po sa for our online discussion, can we meet po twice a week po para more or less we can the synchronous, no? Although they require us a minimum of one synchronous class, but let's do two, dalawa po, synchronous class per week po. Then let's just adjust our schedule if we tackle the subject matter. Then kahit hindi na tayo mag-week for certain days or weeks, as long as we have tackled the subject matter and then you understand what's being discussed, then no problem with me. But initially po, twice a week po tayo muna. Let's meet on Monday, kagaya po ngayon, then on Wednesday. The Friday will be our synchronous class po. Okay? Now, since in the canvas you can see the different topics already, hopefully you can do advanced reading. Then what we will do sa mga synchronous meetings natin, we will just solve some problems, discuss things that are not clear to you. Yun po yung gagawin natin para we won't be wasting our time, then we can be more productive, no, sa meeting natin. Okay? So during our discussions po, don't be shy to ask questions, no. Hopefully I can answer all your queries po later on. Okay? So for the orientation part, that's it for me. Any questions, suggestions?
Ako
Para
po,
we can...
sir. Wala po akong tanong.
None
Okay.
so far po.
Wala po.
Okay, sige. Okay, thank you for your feedback. Now, let's proceed na sa subject matter natin ngayon. So, the title is Logicswitch. Yes, the Logicswitch. So, our first topic for the subject are the binary system, number system. Sorry. Under the number system, we have yung mga binary, ano pa ba? Mga complements, one's complement, two's complement. We'll discuss natin yun, then hopefully we can migrate sa mga gates na nun. Gates ba? Pwede, no? Mga gates. So, but for the meantime, let's talk about the number system. So, before we start sa binary system, anybody can answer my questions or my queries, no? Para malaman po natin yung level of understanding po sa mga number systems. Okay? So, unahin natin kay Roldan. Rainwell. If I pronounce your name incorrectly, please forgive me po, no? Roldan?
Yes po.
Okay, sige. Sa'yo yung unang tanong. What are yung, or ano yung mga signals na alam mo? Mga signals in terms of their waveforms, characteristics po. Anong klase mga signals ang alam mo? Hindi siya graded yung ano natin, discussion natin for today. Roll then. Sige. Am I pronouncing your first name correctly, Roldan?
Yes po.
Well. So ano yung mga signals na alam mo? It's either input signals or output signals. Ano yung mga signals na alam mo? You can talk about their waveforms, characteristics, pwede yun.
Sinusoidal po.
Sinusoidal. Okay, very good. Meron pa bang iba na bukod sinusoidal waveform, meron pang ibang ginagamit na alam mo?
Square.
Okay, square waveform. Okay. So, ano yung nakita para hindi ka na ma-pressure. So, that's very good. So, normally we have yung sinusoidal signal natin. So, these are varying in amplitude with respect sa time, no? Then, yung square waveform, pwede rin siya. So, square waveform are used mostly sa mga digital circuits natin. No? Okay. Then, si Arisa Dorin Tayag. Do you have your mic?
Hello po, sir.
Arisa? Yes. Am I pronouncing your first name correctly?
Yes po.
Okay. Arisa, what's the difference between a binary and a discrete signal? Or kahit na hindi siya signal, waveform, pwede rin siya. Ano yung pagkaiba, yung alam mo, between a binary and a discrete signal or waveform?
Yung binary, meron lang po siyang 2 values.
Okay, very good.
Then yung discrete po, parang finite set of values po.
Finite set of values. Yes, pwede rin siya. Okay, very good, Teresa. So you're correct sa tanong natin. No? Actually, the binary will have just a value of 0 or 1. If you relate that into voltages, the 0 signal will be 0 voltage. Yung 1 signal will be depende, no? If you're using the microcontroller na Arduino or Raspberry Pi or ESP32 or other microcontrollers, the 1 will be equivalent sa 5 volts. It can go as low as 3.5 volts, but normally we consider that to be 1 or 5 volts na for us. No? Then the discrete value, infinite or finite, as you said, it's correct, meaning it's not only 1 or 0, it can go beyond. It can have an amplitude of, let's say, 2 or 1.5 or more than the 1. No? So kung in terms of voltage yan, it varies niyan between a range of 0 and maybe up to 10 volts. Pwede siya. No? So those are the or that's the difference between a binary signal and a discrete signal. No? Now, why is it important for us to study yung mga ganitong signals, no? So, uh, to leave our discussion, or to be more specific about our discussion, we can concentrate, uh, let's say, on our computer. No? How does our computer works? So, normally, they explain it to us na inside our computer, nor especially or specifically sa arithmetic logic units niya, it just uses the 1 or 0. No? Which is true naman. No? Kasi sa arithmetic logic units, you can have yung mga addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. But normally, the computers will just be using the addition and the subtraction. No? For the division or for the multiplication, the computer will just be using the addition para or to process the the multiplication by doing the addition in a fast pace lang. Mabilis lang yung the process, no, na ginagawa niya. And the division, parang magsusubtract lang siya, no. So basically, yun ang ginagawa ng computer natin, no. Okay? So okay. So si Christus Vince, is this Vince Hernandez? Tama ba yung pronunciation? Hernandez or may Mike po ba?
Ano po, Vinci po. Vinci po
Vinci.
yun. Opo.
Okay. Okay, Vinci. Pero yung tama yung Christus?
Yes po.
Okay. So, can you give me of one example where we use the analog signal? Saan ba nagagamit yung mga analog signals natin?
Feel ko po, isa po sa mga sign ng analog signal is sa mga, like, yung voice po natin or nangyari po sa mga, I guess, sa radios.
Okay. So, good, no? So, isa yan yung sa mga inputs niya or gamit ng analog signals natin, no? So, right now, if you're using your headset, headphones, earpiece, or kung ano man yan, para pakinggan na kung magsalita, what you're or the condenser, ang tawag before, the condenser or yung mga speakers, ang input niya normally are analog in nature so that yung voice natin will be replicated dun sa end devices natin, which is the speaker or yung mga condensers natin, no? So, but that process ngayon, if you notice, dumaan na naman sa computer natin. Does it mean that yung signal natin or yung voice natin was converted into the binary or other forms of signal? Of course, the answer will be yes. Hindi, it's not possible kasi to transmit our signal, analog signal from my device to your device. Purely analog in nature siya. It's not doable. It's not practical. So, when I speak ngayon through my microphone, ang nare-receive niya, ito yung condenser na sinasabi. The condenser is just electrical device that vibrates at a certain frequency depending on my voice, no? So, magpa-vibrate siya. Co-convert niya yun. So, that's the analog signal. But the computer niyan will process the analog signal. It will convert it into a digital signal. So the digital signal will be sent sa of course may dadaanan pa mga ibang ano yan, mga processing technique. No? So at the other end, no, it will be received by your computer in the digital form. Then your computer ngayon, that digital signal will be converted into the analog signal. No? So yung mga modulation na nangyayari, saka demodulation na nangyayari sa mga signals natin will be done by your PC or your laptop or yung mga gadgets nyo. So that's what we call yung mga demodulators natin. No? So it modulate, it demodulate yung signal natin. It's sounds so easy, parang ang dali niyang sabihin, pero mahirap siyang gawin. It's hard to do, no? Before, but now we can do or you can do it. Pwede kayong gumawa ng mga circuits. Actually, hindi na kayo gagawa ng mga circuits. What we have today are mga tinatawag natin mga modules or mga modular types. So you can purchase them online, no? Let's say if you want to process something or yung voice nyo, you just buy a demodulator or modulator circuit. Then if you want to amplify that one, you buy an amplifier module. So buying these modules ngayon, you just integrate them accordingly, then you can do yung whatever you want later on. No? So hopefully you will maximize that one. But for us, we'll be using ano na lang muna, mga applications or mga open softwares so that we can visualize what we're doing later on, especially sa mga circuits natin, no? So later on gawa po tayo ng circuits or design po kayo ng circuits. Puro para we will teach that one later on. Okay? So thank you for the answer, Hernandez. So tama po 'yun, no? So yun ang mga signals natin. And aside from that one, or the question is, ba't hindi mawala-wala ang analog signal? Di ba all our gadgets are more advanced in nature, no? Saka the technology talaga is quite amazing, no? Can I have the opinion of Kyra May Santos?
Po?
Bakit hindi mawala-wala yung analog signal sa field natin sa electronics? Ba't hindi na lang purely digital yung signal natin? Ba't hindi nila ma-eliminate yung analog signal?
Meron pa po kasi siyang gamit hanggang ngayon.
Oh, okay. Pwede kong tanong ano yung gamit niya hanggang kung alam pa?
Pag nagsisend po ng mga voice messages, data, image po,
Yes.
kagaya po ng sinabi nyo kanina, ngayon po kung ano pong ginagamit natin.
Okay. Sige. Thank you, Kyra May Santos. My question kasi parang ano siya, no? Very vague din siya in nature. Forgive me for that one. But it's just like asking, why can't we remove the mga AM station since we have already the FM station, no? Kasi when they invented or when they did do the FM, they tried to answer all the negative characteristic of the AM, but until now, AM is still existing. No? So just like my question, why is that analog still in existence where we have all our gadgets which are in digital format already? So you're quite right, Kyra. Uh, Meaning inventing a new or an upgraded version kasi the analog signal, the digital signal, because they saw the disadvantage of analog. That's why they invented the digital and other reason. No? um, Still they cannot get away with the analog signal. No? Because although it is the digital is the improved version, but still it has some problems yung digital signal natin. In terms of the transmission of the signal with respect sa distance. No? We can have yung digital natin pero in a shorter distance. No? Kumbaga mas malapitan lang. Kung purely digital lang ginamit mo, more or less, malapit lang yung distance. Kasi yun lang ang kaya niya. Meaning, yun ang isang disadvantage niya. No? You will notice this one sa mga technology natin today. If you have purely digital in nature, if you're transmitting wirelessly, what kasi? My thought got lost, sorry. May message lang po. Where was I? Nakalimutan ko na yung line of thought ko. Sorry, binasa ko yung message. Oh yeah, the disadvantage, no? So if you notice ngayon, if you're purely digital, if you're using a wireless connection, you must have mga, let's say, mga transceiver mo or mga transmitter mo in a confined or a near or close distance lang ang kaya. You will see this one sa mga, let's say, sa mga cell sites. If you have so many cell sites around you, maka more on digital yung transmission. Or kung sa bahay ka, may mga routers ka, they cannot be placed anywhere, no? So, ililimit mo yung mga distance mo from your wireless routers, no? Unlike if you use an analog transmission, since nga analog siya, the principle parang nagba-bounce lang siya sa Earth's surface. So it can reach a longer distance compared sa digital. Sa digital kasi, if you transmit it wirelessly, it is prone sa mga attenuation, no? Sa mga sa environment, no? So goes for the analog. Prone pa rin siya for attenuation, but comparing the two, sa analog pa rin. Then, the next question is, can you transmit an analog signal or a digital signal uh, where its carrier is a analog signal? Kumbaga, may digital signal ka, ang tagadala mo is analog signal. Of course, ako na yung sasagot. The answer will be yes. Normally, ganun yung ginagawa ng mga telecommunication companies natin na they're sending a digital signal but their carrier is analog. Hindi na kino-convert kung minsan. No? Pinapadala na lang sa analog signal. Again, their objective is to transmit longer span or mas malayong distance. They're using the analog. No? So, mga signals lang yan, no? Meaning, if you look at it, all around us are signals or mga signals ang nasa atmosphere natin. It's a matter how you select yung mga signals na yun. No? Kaya kung minsan, there are times na sa mga modern, especially sa mga gadgets nyo, if you're near certain FM station, even though hindi niya frequency, pumapasok pa rin yung FM signal because you're very near dun sa station na yun. So that's possible. Okay? So, yun yung mga signals. So, pag-aralan natin yung mga basic ngayon. So, before going sa mga signals, of course, the introduction sa topic natin are mga number system. So, sa number system sa atin, we're familiar sa mga base 10 na mga numbers, no? Yung ginagamit natin, the monetary that we're using, how we count, base 10 lahat yan, no? Meaning kung sinabing 1,100 yung pera mo, normally base 10 yan, no? Yung unang digit sa least significant bit yung sa kanan, tapos yung most significant bit yung sa kaliwa. So una ka sa least significant bit, yung unang digit doon is the unit, yung pangalawang digit doon is the 10, yung pangatlo is the 100, yung pangapat is the 1,000, yung sunod nun is the 100,000, so on and so 10,000, then so on and so forth. So normally that's how we do the base 10 sa counting natin. No? Sa binary naman, sabi natin it's 1 or 0. No? So dalawang state lang siya. So normally what we do, kung base 10 yung the normal counting that we do, sa ano naman, sa binary, base 2 naman ang ginagamit niya. So, hopefully nagkakaintindihan tayo. So, next meeting na tayo mag recording, no? So, for this session is ano muna tayo? Discussion. So, next meeting ko na yung recording. Just in case that you missed the lecture, then you want to go back sa lecture natin. You have the recording. Okay? So let's try yung try ko lang po yung whiteboard dito sa ano natin. Sa Microsoft Teams. Do you see po yung whiteboard?
Yes po, sir. Kita po.
Very good. Hopefully makapagsulat po ako ng ano. So, yung base 10 natin kanina, yung example natin, if you have a number of, let's say, 3,450, kahit na hindi natin lagyan ng base 10 ito, or hindi ko siya lalagyan dito ng base 10, it's automatic for us. Now, this one is the unit, no? Ito yung, o yung 1 natin ito. This one is our tenth, no? This one is our 100, no? This one is our 1,000. Okay? So sa atin parang automatic 'yan, no? So so kahit na walang base 10, no? So for the binary ngayon, it's either 1, 0. It's either maglalaro lang siya dito. It's either 1, 0, 1, 0. No? Or if you want 1, 1, 1, tapos meron 1, 0, 0. So this one is binary. Okay. So base 2, ang base niya is 2. So what it means is, example, start ko siya dito. So dito, what it means is you have 0 times 2 raised to 0. Unlike dito, pwedeng ito yung 0 mo times mo siya ng 10 raised to 0. Then if you go sa second, dito, it is 1 times 2 raised to 1. Dito sa 10 naman natin, here, it is 5 times 10 raised to 1. So, parang ganun po siya in comparison sa base 10 natin. So, this one, you just go on, no? Representing lang yung sa power natin. No? So, 2 na ito. So, this one will be 1 times 10, 2, sorry, raised to 3. Hindi siya mukhang 3. So this one is 0 times 10 times 10 times 2 raised to 4. Then the last one is this one 1 times 2 raised to 5. So 2 raised to 0 is still 1, so this will be still 0. So 2 raised to 1 is 2 pa rin times 1, so this will be 2. So this will be 0, this will be 8, this will be 0. Ilan ba itong 2 raised to 5? Or if you don't want it to be longer like this, just think of the placement, no? So based tayo dito sa mga base 2 natin. So 2 raised to 0 is 1. 2 raised to 1 is 2. 2 raised to 2 is 4. So if you notice now the pattern, just multiply by 2. So this will be 8. The next one will be 16. The third one will be 32. No? Kaya if you add all of this one, no? I-add mo lang yung may mga 1. So, eto, 2 plus 8 plus 32. So, you will get the answer. So, you have, ilan ba siya? 42. So, you have 42. Anong base ito ngayon? This will be base 10. Saka-sakali. If you want it to sa base 10. Then, the process is the same, no? Example, if you want a 54, let's say nasa base 10 siya, you convert it sa binary, what's the number ngayon? It's either two ways that you can do. You can have yung ito, yung mga placement ng mga uh, sa binary natin. So, after the 32, you have the 64, di ba? So, if you notice ngayon, 64 siya, pero ito 54. So, hindi ko siya pwedeng gamitin yung 64. Can I use the 32? Yes. No? So, kung gamit mo yung 32, minus mo lang ngayon ito. So, you will get 2. So, 2. So, you have 22. Pwede mo ba, can you use the 16? Yes. No? So, you can use the 16. So, ginamit mo yung 16. So, minus mo ulit ito ng 16. No? So, you will have 6. Can you use the 8 ngayon? Ang tanong. This one is only 6. The next one is 8. No? Yung placement niya. So, definitely no. So, you just place a 0. After the 8, can you use the 4? Yes. So, you have 1 ngayon. Yes. Jonas, is there a
Wala po.
question?
Wala po.
Wala. Okay. I thought there is. So, nasan ba tayo? Sa 4? So, minus mo lang yung 4 niyan. So, you have 2. So, definitely, you can use the 2. Then, minus 2, 0 na siya. So, what you use is the 2, 4, the 16, and the 32. So you add those with the corresponding of ones, that is equivalent sa 54. So this one is in binary. So meaning base 2 siya. For us, hindi na natin linalagyan ng base 2, no? Kung sa binary, it's understood na. No? Okay? So, what's the other method that you want, that you can use? No? You can do parang division, the long process. No? Let's say yung 54, i-divide mo siya ng 2. So, you have how many? So, this one is 27. So, you have the remainder. Ang ginagawa mo, what you want here are the remainder. No? So, obviously, wala tayong remainder dito. 0 siya. So, our remainder is 0. Then, you divide again the 27. Divide mo siya ng 2. No? So, you have, hindi na ako marunong mag-divide. So, you have 6. So, you have a remainder of 1. No? So, you have 13. Sorry. Kasi dapat continuous po siya. Magulo po ako ngayon na and for the rest ng lecture natin, hopefully you can cope up. No? So, ano na ba yung ano natin, number? So, you have 13. Dito ko na lang po itutuloy. So, you have 13. I-divide mo na naman siya 2 dahil ito yung base natin, ang binary. So, you have definitely 6. So, you have 12. So, you have a remainder of 1. Okay? Then, you have 6 na naman. Divide mo siya ng 2. So, you have 3. Then, 6 siya. So, ang remainder niya is 0. Okay? Tapos na ba? Hindi pa. So, we have 3. So, we have 1. 2. So, ang remainder niya is 1. Then we have 1. No? Divide natin ng 2. Meron ba? No? Meron ba siya? Nakalimutan ko na yung division ko. Tama ba? Dahil, 6. Mali ba? 0. Just lang po for a meantime. Then what you will do niyan is lang po. You get the number. Okay. So here we have hindi pa pala siya tinapos. So we have 0. So we have 2. So yung remainder natin is 1. No? So we stop there na. So for this one, di ba pa ganyan po tayo? Here, going this one, this way, tapos pumunta po ako dito, this way, this way. So mostly ngayon, this will be the least significant bit. Ito po yung magiging most significant bit natin. Saka, if we write it, sa most significant bit natin, we just take the remainders ngayon. Ito, mga remainder po. So, yung remainder natin is 1, 1, ito po. So, ang gagawin ko po, pag ganun ako, most significant bit, going sa least significant bit. So, I have 0, I have 1, 1, 0. So this will be the final answer, which is kagaya po siya nito. Okay? So that's the kung gusto niyo po yung mahabang way, or kung gusto niyo na lang i-memorize yung bit position po. No? So it's okay po. Questions, class?
Wala naman po, sir.
Naintindihan pa?
Slide po.
Slide. Okay. Kung meron tayong mga, so this one is what we call the binary. After the binary, we have the mga octal and hexa decimal, or hexa lang. Hex or hexa decimal. Octal meaning our base. Sa octal is base 8. Sa hexadecimal, our base is 16. No? So, from octal to decimal, madali lang siya. Example, pwede naman kasing let's say, meron kang 4, 5, 6. Ang base mo is 8. Octal siya. How will you convert it sa base 2 or sa decimal? For this process, the easiest procedure is pag octal to binary, you just group it into 3. What do we mean group it into 3? Kagaya itong 6. How will you convert yung 6? Dapat sa binary, you have the 4 and the 2. Diba? So, yung 1 natin will be 0. Yung 2 natin will be 1. Saka yung 4 natin will be 1. Para 6 ito. So sa octal, you will group it into 3. Kasi if you group it sa 3, kung 1, 1, 1 yan, ang value nito is 7. So in the octal, it cannot go beyond the value ng 8 or yung etong base 8 natin. Hanggang sa 7 lang siya. So for the 5, meron siyang 4. Sa 1 meron siya. Sa 2 wala. Sa 4 meron. So 5 ito. Then for the 4, 1 is 0, yung sa bit location niya. Then yung 2 is 0 pa rin. Yung 4 ngayon is 1. Kaya if you represent it sa binary, so this will be 1, 0, 0 for the 4. Yung 5 will be 1, 0, 1. For the 8, it is 1, 1, 0. So that's how you convert from octal to binary. So ganun din siya. Pag binary to octal, i-group mo lang sila by 3. 1, 2, meron akong kulang. Ayan, nandun pala yung 1. No? Nakatago siya. Okay. Tinamaan ko siya. Sorry for that. So, meaning, yung number natin sa octal, we cannot have, let's say, 4, 5, 9 sa octal. This one is or it's not possible for the octal kasi nag-exceed ka, may 9 ka dito. So octal that you can have, the highest is parang 7 siya. Okay? Then same goes for the hexadecimal. Sa hexadecimal, the count will be from 1 hanggang 9. When you reach the 10, you don't write it as 10. You write it as parang alphabet po siya. Yung A will be represented by 10. B will be represented by 11. Hanggang what value po ito? Hanggang 16. Hexadecimal po kasi siya. Hanggang F lang. Value ng F. So, we can have yung mga these numbers po. Okay? So, I can say I can have an hexadecimal number as 9 to A, let's say 3B. So, pag nakita mo ito, more or less, pag nakita, if you see it in the base 16, so that's an hexadecimal. Okay? And later on, convert natin siya from hexadecimal into its binary. No? Madali lang sa binary. Why? Kasi sa hexadecimal, how many bits do we need? No? At least 4. No? Or the 1, or the 2, or the 4, or the 8. Kasi if you add itong 8, 4, 2, 1, we have at least 15. No, yung total nila. Kaya for the B, di ba 11 ito, we just group it sa ano natin. So yung B natin, meron siyang value ng 8. Wala siyang value ng 4. May value siya ng 2. may value din siya ng 1. Tama ba ako? So 1, 2, 3. So this one, 3 plus 8 is 11. Then sa 3, for the 3, ano lang siya, it will be 1, 1, 0, 0. So you have 1, 2. So 3 yun. For the 9, ano lang siya, 9. A is 10. So meron kang 8. Meron ka bang 4? Wala. Meron kang 2? Yes. And the 1 is 0. So this will be the value ng A. Then isulat mo lahat yan. No? So this will be equivalent by the binary, or meaning you're grouping them into 4. No? Para to get the binary system. Oh, it's 9 na pala. Sorry. I talk too much. Balikan pa natin to next meeting. Don't worry. So any question, guys? So next na rin ako mag-check ng attendance.
Wala naman po, sir.
So since wala, that's it for me.
Sir, ano pala po? Meron po. Yung email mo daw po, sir. Email po. May mag-email daw po sa'yo, sir.
Email ko. The address, no?
Apo, sir. Email address po.
Hindi pa ba nakita sa ano?
Wala po, sir. Sa Canvas po. Wala po.
Wala siya.
Apo, sir.
Na lang parang hindi tagal pala sa sa chat na lang. Okay. And so you can email me at Cheres. Sharp ito. are easy. Okay? So, yun po. If you have any questions or inquiries po, you can do our correspondence there or dito sana. Lilitaw naman po siya sa Teams din. Okay? So,
Thank you po, sir.
Everyone. Thank you, Jonas, for the questions. Okay? There are
Thank you po.
none. Stay safe, everybody. I'll see you on Wednesday po. Same time. No? Bye, everybody.
Thank you, sir.